What's up, guys? It's your man KP67s, and I am back. I know, it's been like 4 or 5 months since the last time I made a video. What can I say, guys? Real life, you know? Sometimes easy time, sometimes you get a long stretch of just insanity. So luckily, most of that is put behind me now, so I am back and I'm able to start making character videos again. There has been a lot that's been going on in the game, including a whole other faction to start covering. So that is what I will start to do. But today, I'm going to get back on track and just start with the bounty hunters in this case. And we're going to be starting with one of the newer characters that popped up in September, if I recall correctly, and that is Embo. So Embo is a bounty hunter, a scoundrel, always a great combination because he's usable in both a scoundrel squad and a bounty hunter squad, as well as an attacker. And when we look at his stats here, you can see that he has a lot of damage. Not the best in the way of health, not the best of special damage, he doesn't need it, but plenty of physical damage, plenty of critical chance, and plenty of armor as a result. Here's how I've got him modded currently right now. As you can see, there is a ton of protection on him for a good reason. Critical damage, I left it just with the mod set of the actual 4-piece critical damage mod set at 180%. And then you've got his critical chance up there. You've got his damage up a little bit. His armor, it's decent. I mean, it's an attacker. And plus he gains a bit of extra survivability from one of his Zetas. And we'll get into it when we get there. And of course, special stuff, I really don't care. So, with respect to Embo's gearing, Embo, like most bounty hunters, is not a particularly fun gear. He requires at least 5 stun guns. That's right, 5 stun cuffs. Could you imagine 5 stun guns? Oh my goodness. But 5 stun cuffs, 3 of the Mark 8 golden eyeballs, and a handful of other just really annoying gear pieces to push him all the way up to gear 12. It's annoying, but at a fully maxed out state, which Embo is here in this case, he does a lot of work. So, going on from that, we're going to get into his abilities here. So his basic here is Dismantling Shot. It's pretty straightforward, actually. Dispel all buffs and deal physical damage to the target enemy. There's no fluff, there's no frilly material here. It's just hit the person, dispel them, be done with it. He is another one of those characters where having a dispel on basic is very, very helpful for the faction that he's a part of, and will actually help you really keep a lot of control, especially for reactive taunts, retributions, pop-up taunts, all these types of things which are used to try to deflect your damage from another place. So that's his basic. Then we get to his big hit, the war helmet, the Kyuzo war helmet here. Deal physical damage to the target enemy and deals bonus damage equal to 35% of Embo's max protection. After that, Embo loses 50% protection. So I know it sounds a little crazy. You're just like, oh, why would you want to drop protection? Like, he's already a kind of a more frail kind of attacker. Like, why would you do that? Because of the amount of extra damage that Embo's war helmet does with the max protection, you can do a ton of damage right off the bat with his hat. You know, not even having him at 7 stars, if he was sitting at 3, 4 stars, gear 11, if you stack him for protection, he ends up doing a lot of damage, even not being maxed out, sitting at 3 or 4 stars. Obviously, you get him to 7 stars, you get him to gear 12, you add a little extra damage to him. It's a scary hit as a result. I have seen it many times be able to kill something from full health, no protection, or even half protection just by having a good crit. So definitely something very, very powerful and really emphasizes the need for a lot of protection on him. Then we get to his leadership here, the Quiet Assassin. All bounty hunters gain 50% counter chance and 50% health steal. When a bounty hunter scores a critical hit during their turn, they gain offense up for a turn. And then, as all bounty hunters are, he has a contract. You have to hit an enemy without buffs 15 times, and once you do, every bounty hunter gets 50% offense and whenever they use a basic, they deal bonus damage equal to 7% of the target's max protection. This leadership is through and through built for the Sith raid. End of story. Phase 1 with Nihilus constantly stacking protection each time, you know, you take a hit, each time he goes, each time he does damage to you, he's constantly regenning protection or trying to regen protection, and Embo's leadership takes advantage of that to do as much damage as possible, powering through protection, through Nihilus's protection, in order to do big damage. This is also useful in PvE circumstances and in scattered TW and Grand Arena circumstances, but there are 2 other leads that are significantly better to use over Embo in those cases. But if you're looking for bigger damage in the Sith raid, better damage in phase 1 if you don't have JTR, or if you want to have something extra on top of JTR, this is a good leadership to run with. Then we come to his unique Way of the Kyuzo. So his Zeta straight up just says Embo can't be critically hit. So that really increases his survivability. If he can't be crit, he's not taking as much damage, which means that he's staying around a lot longer. Embo also gets 30% offense when he has protection and 30% critical chance when he has no protection. So he's going to hit harder out the gate with protection, or he's going to crit harder and more frequently if he has no protection. And when Embo receives damage from an enemy's attack, if he has no protection, he gains Foresight for 2 turns. So not only do you have something that's able to, his Zeta, not only you have his Zeta giving him critical hit immunity, but you also have something which will straight deflect attacks as a result with Foresight. This really extends his longevity and allows you to really make use of him in a lot trickier situations where you might think he might die, but then he ends up not doing so. So, the final piece as to all bounty hunters is Embo's Payout. When Embo's Payout is activated, what happens is that he will take bonus turns after scoring a critical hit, specifically 1 bonus turn. As it says right there, actually, Embo can't gain consecutive bonus turns, so he can't keep going in a chain over and over and over. He's going to take 1 bonus turn, wait till the next turn, 1 bonus turn, wait till the next turn. This is a good reason as to why you should have a lot of critical chance on him to begin with. If he happens to have no protection, he gains 30% critical chance, but at a baseline level, you want him having a higher critical chance than most characters. And finally, he gains a special ability, Elusive Strikes. So what Elusive Strikes does is it deals damage under protection. He completely ignores opponent's protection and then regenerates his own protection based on the damage he dealt. Very similar to Kylo Ren's Outrage in this case. So, what does that mean? It means that even if Embo is losing protection using the Kyuzo War Helmet, he is able to regenerate it once the contracts and the payouts have been doled out after the bounty hunters activate it. So, keeping his abilities in mind, keeping how he kind of functions in mind, this is where we get to his modding. And as you can see here, I've got critical damage and critical chance on him, speed obviously on the arrow. I've got extra protection everywhere, basically. So his triangle's got protection, his cross has got protection, his circle has protection, protection, because you want that big helmet hit to just hit for so much damage, and it's just so gratifying when you can like one-shot like Mother Talzin from like nearly full health and like half protection, or like, you know, you can just knock out Daka, or you can knock out like, you know, some character that's been giving you problems, and it just feels so good to just obliterate them right away because of how much protection he carries. This protection also synergizes very well with Bosk's bounty hunter lead, where he grants everybody an additional 50% protection. So you can end up hitting for a substantial amount, even though Bosk's lead doesn't actually increase your offense at a base level. So, looking at Embo's kind of overall purpose, I like to consider Embo actually part of the big 5 bounty hunters. If there are no other bounty hunters that you work on, you should work on at least 5 of them for any PvE or PvP circumstance, I believe. That will be Jango Fett, Boba Fett, Dengar, Embo, and Bosk. All of them have very, very powerful capabilities in their kit. All of them have very, very good leads. Some way better than others. And overall, they're able to do a lot put together. I frequently use this team when I'm not using it defensively in TW. I'm using it offensively in TW or Grand Arena. Just able to power through some of the trickiest teams you could possibly manage, which, you know, is just really nice and entertaining to be able to see. Embo brings a lot with the single target dispel on the basic, get rid of those taunts so that way Dengar and Bosk can get at somebody. He has a very, very big hit in his Q's of War Helmet. He can go under protection, and you have no idea how many times going under protection just completely obliterates those enemy nests. Makes very short work of them. So overall, I really do think that Embo is one of those characters that you should try to push up as soon as you can if you're not farming for other certain Sithy related things. I would really focus on Embo and push him up if you were to try to work up a bounty hunter squad. That's it, guys. So that concludes the review. I'm a little rusty from it. I think I went my usual way, but if I was a little over the place, I apologize. If you like the video, if you like me coming back, great. Like, you know, leave a like, comment below in the video. You know, I want to hear feedback. I want to hear you guys tell me what you guys think. Second point, I quickly want to say thank you so much to everybody who subscribed to me, even in my absence. I'm sitting at over 1,000 subscribers. I did not think that was going to happen, but I do attribute this to, like, you know, Operation Metaverse, my guild leader, T Money G. She still continues to, like, you know, push my stuff, even though I haven't actually been doing anything for months on end. So thank you for subscribing. Keep up the subscriptions, keep up, like, you know, staying in touch, and I'll be back with more content. All right, guys, have a good day.